Hello, this is Luke from Play,
And this is Paul.
and today we're going to have a look at the Assassin's Creed series. We've just had Unity and Rogue, neither of which really kind of lived up to expectations. So we thought we'd kind of discuss where the series should go next, where it will go next, what we know, what we think it should do, and just generally kind of what Ubisoft needs to do to get its shit together, really.
Yeah. So I mean, the first thing, I mean, playing Unity, there were some changes that were made that arguably didn't go far enough, but I think is the right direction to be going in. That's primarily in terms of when you do the assassination missions. I mean, in the past, it was very clear that it was like, right, this is how you're going to do the mission. You have to go down this path, and if you don't do it this way, then insta-fail, start again. Whereas in Unity, they would put you in an area, give you a building to infiltrate, and it was sort of up to you how you did that and how you undertook the assassination. Now, it's still not as open as in many other games, but I think it's a good direction for the series to be going.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot it can learn from Hitman. I think like Hitman is all about having those kind of open like playgrounds to just mess around in to find the perfect path. You can kill people in an interesting way. You can just do a straight up like professional kill. Like there's a lot there that they could definitely learn from, I think.
Yeah, and I think that also they've made improvements to the stealth. I thought that Unity was the best stealth game in the Assassin's Creed series. Definitely not the best stealth game, full stop.
No.
But within the series, introducing the stealth stance, the cover mechanics, I think that's made it into a far better stealth game. Unfortunately, there is still that issue of things like accidentally jumping up onto a table when you don't intend to.
I love that. It's so good.
Yeah.
The most subtle thing ever, just sneaking up on someone, eavesdropping for a bit, and all of a sudden you've just jumped off the roof and you've landed on their face. Like,
Yeah.
dumb.
And that's something that's been a problem for a long time and still causes problems. So whether or not they can fix that, I don't know, but it's something that I'd really like them to sort of iron out. In terms of where the series goes next, we have actually already had this conversation, haven't we?
Yeah.
But we're now having it for a second time because we've now found out some stuff about the next game, which is precisely what we predicted in the video that we were going to upload, that it would be set in Victorian London.
We're just too clever. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, that is we're ahead of the times.
And behind the times at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know how we've managed that.
Yeah.
We are Assassin's Creed, only we actually work.
Yeah. Obviously, being set in Victorian London, that means no boat stuff again. Is that a disappointment for you? Or?
Not really. Like, people were complaining about no boats in Unity, but it was cool in Black Flag. But you could see by the time, like, part of the problem with Rogue was it all felt too familiar. Like, Assassin's Creed for me is at its best when it's taking risks. Like, the first time out, the boat thing was a big risk. Like, no one knew if Ubisoft, any of the studios involved, in fact, could do sailing, could do a like open world seafaring game. And, that could have gone terribly. A lot of people before it came out assumed it would go terribly, but we got it in. There are shanties, sailing works, you do some fishing, some whaling, whatever. Bloody brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like you say, it would be interesting to see them taking risks. Obviously, we haven't seen that much of Assassin's Creed Victory so far. It does look very, from what we can tell, though, it does look a bit worryingly similar to Unity from my perspective. I mean, the new thing seems to be as a grapple hook, which was in Revelations to some degree.
Okay.
I believe there was you had a hook that allowed you to use zip lines and stuff. So this is slightly different.
Okay, can I drive the Batmobile?
You can't drive the Batmobile.
What if I pre-order? Can I drive the Batmobile then?
Yes. No, you can stand on top of carriages now.
Cool.
So that's good. And there seems to be some sort of change to disguise mechanics. In that, in the leaks that have been, when the character moves into a crowd, he takes a top hat off someone and puts it on his head, foolproof. disguise there. um, but I've always quite liked the idea of like social stealth, which hasn't. I'm not sure it's been implemented to the degree that I'd like it to be in Assassin's Creed, but I've always liked that idea of sort of hiding in plain sight. So I don't know what they're going to do with those disguise mechanics, but that's quite an interesting change for me.
Yeah. Well, so far in the series, that constitutes like hiding in bushes, or in the earlier games, putting your hands together.
Yeah.
Which makes you just invisible, pretty much.
Well, yeah, and again, my worry is that it is putting a top hat on makes you invisible, which isn't really the kind of depth you'd like to see.
Press R2 to invisible top hat.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, Victorian London, I mean, when we sort of predicted that in the last one, I mean, granted, we did say a Victorian London set Assassin's Creed kart racer, but still, we did say that...
Or the moon.
Yeah.
That was the other option.
But we did say, you know, Victorian London would potentially be a cool setting, and I think it's one that fans have been sort of suggesting they'd like to see.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the front runners, isn't it? Like, it's that and kind of feudal Japan or old China. Those are kind of the ones that come up the most often, for sure. I don't know why no one's latching onto my idea about doing a prehistoric Assassin's Creed.
No,
because that's clearly brilliant.
Yeah, well, they can't go forward in time because you can't really get guns into the series because that would ruin it. So eventually we will have to go back
that far. We'll work our way all the way back through history until we're holding R2 to run at the back of dinosaurs and then leap of faithing into some straw off the back of a T-Rex.
That sounds better.
That really does sound better.
But it's, yeah, you know, that's not right off victory yet. I mean,
the second after it's been leaked for the first time.
Yeah, I mean,
might be a bit unprofessional. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool setting. I think that they made steps in the right direction to Unity.
Definitely.
Maybe if they can follow up on that stuff, then we'll have a good game on our hands.
Yeah, and in Black Flag before that as well. Let's not forget, like, Black Flag was arguably the best game in the entire series. Like, it's definitely up there with 2. Like, it's a bit of a toss-up as to which is actually best, but they're the best ones because they're the ones that have refined the format best. If Victory can do that, then Ubisoft might be back on track.